Hello, and once again, welcome to the 14th day of our 15 days physical science program. And this is the penultimate welcome to all of you in this program. We are going to end tomorrow, and I really congratulate Om and Rudra to have sustained their passion till end. And we had decided to change the subject from physics to chemistry today and tomorrow. And this class, we will talk about the remaining portion of electromagnetism, that is the principle of generators, where we make use of the Fleming's right-hand rule to know the direction of current, induced current, and how by making a mechanical motion, by rotation of a coil that is in the armature, current induced EMF is generated, and we make use of that. First, we study the DC motor, DC generator. Like the DC motor, it makes use of the split ring commutator, like the DC motor, but the work is opposite. There we were using electrical energy to get mechanical energy. Rotation, the mechanical motion was being the output, input was electricity, but here the input is mechanical action, mechanical rotation of the armature coil, either by the falling of the water from a great height so that it will rotate the turbine, or by passing the steam from high pressure to low pressure, it will also rotate the turbine. And if we input mechanical action, mechanical rotation, then the output is electricity. That is why it is called generator. Welcome, Shraddha Suman, Pragyasmita. Time will never wait for us. Whether we are waiting for time, doesn't matter. Time will not wait for us. It will pass on in its own pace. That has been codified in the watch, in the clocks. You can find the pace of the second hand, the minute hand. Those are moving in front of us. It continues in the same tempo, irrespective of whether our tempo goes slow or sometimes faster. So this is the penultimate day where we'll be discussing. Let me share my screen, and welcome Shakti Prasad, Pragyasmita, and Shraddha Suman. I was told by your principal, Shraddha, that Kitu Dada is already there from 23rd onwards, and he will be having classes for you, and maybe he is doing for the lower classes, or maybe you'll be doing from 29th onwards. So that's great. Let me share my screen before you annotate. Let me disable it and see you who are the participants with me in the Zoom session. And let me take you to the principle of the sooner we finish this, the sooner we switch on to chemistry. Well, anyone who can tell me that which principle or concept is used in a DC motor, how to know the direction of the moving, rotating armature inside a magnetic field. What principle we have to follow? Yes, you can write down in the you tell me. Don't waste time. Tell me.
Fleming right-hand rule.
No, I'm asking a different question. You are answering. I'm asking what principle you follow.
Oh, electromagnetic induction.
No, I'm saying motor. I'm saying a DC motor when the armature coil is rotating, because we are providing current into the coil, which is placed in a uniform magnetic field. The poles are curved so that every time the coil is parallel to the direction of the field. So my question, Om, was what principle is adopted to know in which direction it is moving, the coil is moving? Well, Rudra?
Sir, Fleming's left-hand rule.
Precisely, in a official way, you can say FLR, Fleming left-hand rule, but there are alternatives, two alternatives. One of the alternatives that Om, you could have said, you told about generators, which works on FRH. But I am asking about the revision that I'm making is about motors, where electrical energy is converted to mechanical energy. There, the motion, the force exerted onto the conductor, which is a part of the armature coil, will be known from FL left-hand rule, FLR rule. Or elegantly, we can call it that. Who can tell me what is the substitute funny name that we can make? Yes, Om.
Right-hand thupper rule.
Yes, we can call it in a gathering or in a place where we are with our friends, our known persons. But when we write, we must say it is right-hand pushing rule. Push. Never use the word only right-hand rule. Somebody will confuse with electromagnetic induction. So we knew that while current from the outside circuit is flowing in the same direction, inside the coil, it was alternating the direction. But never mind, because we have commutator, split ring commutator, even if the direction ABCD becomes DCBA in each half rotation, doesn't matter. But the rotation, the force exerted or the torque exerted at every half rotation remains the same. So either the armature coil or anything which is connected to the armature coil either rotates clockwise if the current direction is one, and if the current direction is reversed by changing the DC polarity, then it will rotate in the opposite direction. If clockwise in the first case, and the second case, it will be clockwise or vice versa. Now here, we use the FRR. Who can tell me the middle finger will indicate what? If we put our three fingers, the forefinger, the thumb, and the middle finger, 90 degrees with respect to each other, then tell me what is the direction of the middle finger? Shraddha Suman.
Current direction.
Who current?
Direct current.
अरे हाँ जे को करेंट सेटा ताकू कौन कहंती? यस रुद्र.
moving particular velocity दिग.
हैं?
Sir, velocity दिग.
Velocity कौन मु चार्ज कथा कौन पचार मु coil यूज करूची उटे कंडक्टर यूज करूची. So श्रद्धा हाँ?
Sir, current दिग.
करेंट रो दिग श्रद्धा भी कहिची. मु ताले बारंबार काहे पचार से करेंट को कौन कहंती? Yes, Om, Pragya, anyone? Anyone? Shakti? अरे से current
Induced current.
Yes, induced current. Now, Rudra, you are correct, because that current was not there. It was a circuit without any battery or anything. But because you are changing the magnetic field with time, then that is the Lenz's law followed by the Faraday's law, which will give you quantitatively what will be the induced EMF at a particular what is the induced EMF that is generated at a particular d phi by dt. If d phi by dt changes, then E changes, induced EMF changes, so also the current. So this is induction, electromagnetic induction, which works on the FRR. Forefinger is always the field, magnetic field, B field. And thumb is always motion. This time is the input, this is the output. Current is the output. But in motor, left hand, but current was the input. And thumb, the middle finger is the output, input. Current is the input. And thumb, the motion of the coil, that is the output. So the only input output fingers reverse, and also the left hand reverses with the right hand, and to reverse the concept of getting mechanical energy from electrical energy, and the reverse, that is getting electrical energy from mechanical energy. That's the beauty. Now let's look to first DC generator, which you have seen in many places, in many wedding receptions. You have heard the horrible sound produced by a big Honda generator for a long time. If the town supply goes off, very, very horrifying. And that is a DC generator, what we call a dynamo. And I remember, I think still it is prevailing now. In a cycle, we were having a dynamo, so that in the night, because there was not much electricity in those days, when we are plying in dark night in the roads, we have to see the roads. So there is a dynamo here, and the rotation is provided by us. When we pedal, then this tire, this rim rotates, and that in turn rotates this one, which is connected to an armature coil inside a magnetic field, and that produces a current, a DC current, which provides that electrical energy to a bulb which glows. Well, the same principle will be applicable if we use split ring commutator that we were using in DC motor. Here also in DC generator, if we use split ring commutator, Vikhandita Balaya, then it will produce DC, direct current. But if we use slip rings, I shall show you. And the counterpart AC motor, I have not told you, which I will tell you. Then that will be AC generator where the current direction will reverse. Now see, I am explaining to you, this is a turbine. Same thing, shaft, this is the armature coil, and this is the two split ring commutators, which is shown a fraction of both halves, not all. And this is the carbon brass. This is one is visible, the other one is below, not visible. And this is the split ring commutator, the diagram with which we will understand. Now let me show you this one for understanding. Then we will start from a official in a very systematic manner as the angle changes. Can you remind me the expression or equation by which we can know if the area of the coil, that area plane, makes an angle theta with respect to the perpendicular position with respect to the field. If the angle is theta, then that theta is varying every time it is rotating by us, then theta is every time varying. So if angle theta is varying, then what is varying? What is varying? How will you express the flux phi? By which expression we express the flux? Abhivaha, flux. Yes, Om.
B dot A.
Precisely, it is the scalar product of the flux density or simply the field and area vector. I forgot to tell you that the area vector, just like the length vector has the direction same as current, but the area vector has a direction which is perpendicular to the area. That is the beauty that has been codified for area vector. The direction of the area vector is always perpendicular to the plane of the area. Right? Now, we are starting from this position where the coil is parallel to the magnetic field. And magnetic field is from north to south. Be ready with your right hand. And B1 brush, which is fixed, is connected now to R1, the split ring or the commutator R1, which is fixed with this AB part. And CD part is fixed with the R2 commutator, half split ring. Whenever the coil will be rotating, the R1 and R2 will be rotating always R2 with the DC side and R1 with AB side, but the process are fixed. At this position, when this coil is parallel to the field, I am just saying that to apply the FRR is always better to put it in a parallel position so that the application of FRR will be easy to understand. Now, if you use your right hand and your forefinger to show the direction of the field, the magnetic field, and the direction of thumb, and the direction of thumb will be giving you the direction of the push that we are making, the motion of the coil that we are making. Here the input is mechanical action, we are putting it anti-clockwise motion. So the thumb is downwards and the forefinger is from left to right, and you find the finger is pointing towards my nose. So the induced current, Shraddha, is coming in this way, and here also if you apply FRR to this side, you will find, so this side is moving up, so we can show the thumb upwards, and also the forefinger in the same north to south direction. You will find that your middle finger is pointing towards me and my middle finger is pointing towards you. So here in this particular mode, the direction of the current is DCBA. So that if you look to the outside circuit, it is going from terminal P to terminal Q in this way. But if you just make a half turn so that it is in the other parallel position where CD side is touching B1 and the AB side is now touching B2, what will happen? Since we are rotating anti-clockwise, it is our work, then you will find, if you apply the same principle, you will find, because in that case, current was produced. Here, in that case, mechanical action was produced, rotation was produced, but here current is produced. So you will find that the current will be in the same direction. I mean, inside the coil, it will be called ABCD. It reverses the direction according to our nomenclature, because AB part is bonded, is connected to R1, and since we are shortly moving to chemistry, so unknowingly the chemical terms are coming to my lips, that is bonded. So AB is attached to R1 and CD is attached to R2, that is fixed. That in that way we say the direction of current is opposite. Here it was DCBA, here it is ABCD. ABCD. You can apply the current. I mean, same, because in the coil it is anti-clockwise direction of, the direction of the rotation is anti-clockwise, and here also it was anti-clockwise. So therefore, if you apply the FRR, you will find the current will be downwards in CD and in forward direction in AB. So it will be called ABCD. This is DCBA. So we are naming from right to left in anti-clockwise manner. We were naming the current direction DCBA. Now same anti-clockwise ABCD. But what happens to the current in the outside circuit? It remains the same. So in each half turn, you will find that there is no change in the direction of current in the outside circuit. Although theoretically, yes, the direction of current is changing in the coil inside the magnetic field. It was DCBA, now it is ABCD. But since the rotation is under our control, we are rotating it either anti-clockwise or clockwise. In this case, it is anti-clockwise. We find the direction of current outside is same. But there is a problem. The current that is produced is not uniform. It goes on increasing from 0 at certain stage to reach a maximum value. And again, it falls down, it decreases. And again becomes 0 at certain point, a certain position of the coil. And again it goes up. It doesn't come down. It doesn't produce any, opposite current in outside circuit. So we are measuring the current by using an ammeter in series here in the outside circuit. And we'll find there is a gradual increase in the current. As the voltage induced EMF increases, you see, then the current also increases, reaches a maximum, again comes to 0, and again reaches a maximum in the other half, in the same direction, and again comes to 0. So in one cycle, 360-degree rotation, you will find 2 maxima and एमती तो देखिले 3 0 position आसीबो starting टा उटे 0 मझरे उटे 0 and we were returning back to the same position. So 0 degree and 360 degree को हमें अलगा करिवानी. So we are meeting 2 maxima and we can't call it minima because it is not going to the opposite side, doesn't have a minimum point, but goes 0 point dita paiba. Now let us try to understand in a very systematic manner. Graphically we explain it. Already we explain kari sarichi. बुझेवा पाई FRR यूज करिया पाई आमे ताको parallel रखिथिले. But let me tell you, a parallel थिबा समय रे the induced EMF and current is maximum. Ironically, the flux passing through it is 0 because since it is parallel, so the flux that is passing, the magnetic lines, field lines that are passing is 0. But at that position, the current, induced current is maximum. But when we keep it vertical like this, एथुर जदि 90 डिग्री टर्न कर दबो एई पोजीशन रु एंटी क्लॉकवाइज 90 डिग्री टर्न कर दबो सेही पर्यंत डायरेक्शन सेही डीसीबीए रहिबो. एटा धर मने मने भाबो 0 किंतु सेटा 0 नबानी. हमें ग्राफ पढिला बेलकु सेटा को 0 धरिबानी. 0 टा धरिबा वर्टिकल पोजीशन रु 0 आरंभ करिबा. मु तुमको कहूची कॉन्सेप्चुअली स्ट्रांग होआ पई धर पैरेलल पोजीशन को हमें 0 एंगल धरले, the angle between the plane of the coil and the magnetic field, I'm talking of that, is 0 here, and 90 degree जेतबेले सेटा vertical हे जिवो अल्प गोटे मोमेंट पाई there will be no current because it is rotating so fast जणा पडिबनी current चली वाला बळ्या because there is the gap. Split ring रो सही मजा, but सेठी कोन inertia कथा कहउतली, motion was the output, एठी motion is the input. आमे बुलुचे चलीचे तेणु एते कम समय भितर जो करंट 0 ही गला जना पड़िबन. And in fact a vertical position asla bele the current is empty tabi 0. Commutator जदि फांका है न थांता भी 0 ही थांता. काई की थांता आमे डिस्कस करिबा जते बेले the flux passing through is maximum, but still the current is 0. कमी आस्थिबो तळको बस सही समय रे मोमेंटरीली सिना कट ऑफ हे जिवो, सर्किट ब्रेक हे जिवो, डजंट मैटर. ता पूर्वरु मध्ये 0 पाखा पाखी पळे आस्थिबो. What is the fallacy? Now, because we are dealing with the rate of change, when the coil is perpendicular, flux is maximum, the rate of change of flux, d phi by dt, the instantaneous change of flux with respect to time is 0. We have to prove it mathematically. Many teachers, they try to explain in physical interpretation manner, but they fail to convince their students. They just impose things that flux maximum involved korthibo, so ita change hobo, so the change of flux with respect to time is maximum. Ota koi debi pila buji gele akon. Jitole zero achi, jitole zero to tike badibo, sei samare change of flux with respect to time is maximum. And here the change, I'm sorry, 90 degree achi and vertical achi, setebele change in the flux with respect to time is 0. Flux is maximum, but rate of change of flux is 0. But we shall be proving it mathematically. Then only you will, your inquisitive mind will satiate your quest to know things. Well, 90 degree hela belku 90 degree just pare ei position 90 degree just pare change he jibo e jo ring R1 ta brush B2 re lagi jibo. आउ आमे एटा 180 डिग्री पोजीशन रे देखैजे किंतु 90 डिग्री रा जस्ट मोमेंट परे ए अल्टरनेट हे जिवे तो सेही पोजीशन रु ABCD आसी जिवो एंड ताको पैरेलल पोजीशन 180 डिग्री रे देखैबा को सुविधा हबो बोली मु तमको सेटा नेछि को पर्यंत रहइबो ABCD ना पुणी 270 पर्यंत 90 एटा 180 पुणी जतबेले वर्टिकल को आसीबो 270 हबो सेतबेले करंट पुणी 0 हम एठी पुणी मैक्सिमम हम ये मैक्सिमम पॉइंट रु हमें आरंभ कर देले माने आरंभ कर देले मैक्सिमम तापर धीरे धीरे 90 डिग्री हला द वैल्यू केम डाउन बिकॉज़ d phi by dt is maximum there and minimum in the vertical position, and in between other angles it goes on decreasing as the angle increases. I mean, taking this as 0 degree, the d phi by dt decreases and hence the current decreases and becomes 0 when it is vertical, or from where we have started our analysis it is 0. And again the ABCD he gala 90 degree to 180 degree jela asila setole puni बढ़ी 0 रु बढ़ी मैक्सिमम आसला केतेबेले ना तो पुणी पैरेलल हला बा 180 डिग्री आसला एंगल टा पुणी धीरे धीरे कमिबा को आरंभ कला मैग्नीट्यूड बट डायरेक्शन आउटसाइड चेंज हेनी क्योंकि पुणी जेतेबेले वर्टिकल को आसला पुणी 0 हला एटी पुणी स्विच हला माने एबीसीडी टा सीडीबीए हे गला सेठी कम्यूटेटर एक्सचेंज हे गले ब्रश कम्यूटेटर ब्रश एक्सचेंज हे गले तो एबीसीडी टा डीसीबीए हे गला एंड यू नो द करंट डायरेक्शन आउटसाइड सर्किट से रहिला एंड अगेन जो 0 थिला 0 रु पुणी बढ़िला. सो आमे स्टार्ट करथिलु कोठी मैक्सिमम पॉइंट रु भल लागुनी एमती आसिला मैक्सिमम पॉइंट रे एमती आसिला पुणी गला मैक्सिमम आसिला पुणी 0 हला पुणी मैक्सिमम पॉइंट को गले जनी गोटे साइकिल होबो तेनु जतले 100 270 रु पुणी 360 को आसीबो सेतले पुणी 0 रु उठिकरी सेटिक जीवो. सो एटा गोटे फुल रोटेशन हला तो एमिति 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 0 हला पुणी आसिला एटा 0 हला एटा मैक्सिमम थिला कोठू ना 0 डिग्री रे तापर 0 हला कोठी ना 90 डिग्री रे तापर पुणी 0 हला तापर पुणी मैक्सिमम हला कोठी ना 180 रे तापर पुणी 0 हला कोठी ना 270 रे पुणी तापर मैक्सिमम हला कोठी ना 360 रे एमती देखिबा अपेक्षा चलो हमें 0 डिग्री टा नबा वर्टिकल पोजीशन नेले तुमको बुझिबा को सुविधा हबो जोटा मु कर देई छेठी ओडिया रे भी लिखि देई छी एटा होची एक्चुअल हमें एनालिसिस बुझिबा पे कर देले सिना किंतु हमें आरंभ करिबा वर्टिकल पोजीशन टाको नबा ये zero angle naba jetebele plane of the coil is making 90 degree with respect to the field ki koi paribo 0 degree nobaro au gote solid logic kon ki koi paribo 0 degree ei vertical position ku nobare what is another solid logic mu tomaku bujiba pai plane of the coil is parallel to the poles the magnetic field taku 0 degree angle neikri bujheithili किंतु वर्तमान एक्चुअल पोजीशन को आसिली जेतेबेले वर्टिकल अछि कॉइल रो सरफेस रो प्लेन टा वर्टिकल अछि फील्ड को सेतेबेले मु एंगल 0 नेली कोन एटा गुटे प्रिज्यूम कली 0 ना तार गुटे लॉजिक अछि हु कैन टेल मी इफ देयर इज एनी सॉलिड लॉजिक बिहाइंड टेकिंग दिस पोजीशन एज 0 एंगल एटा जे तुमे कहि दबो देन आई विल बी अटरली हैप्पी raise your zoom hand well khali area likhile kon hobo rudra babu you open your hand aji to shesh dina two guys are watching and why we take it as 0 what is the logic behind taking as 0 seta 0 nele to curve ta आरंभ होची उटा मैक्सिमम पॉइंट एमिति 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 पुणी एमिति आमे प्रकृति रे एनी वर्टिकल पोजीशन 8 टू स्टार्ट करो कि 8 टू स्टार्ट करो एटा को आमे एंगल 0 नबा काहे की 0 नबा वेरी अनफॉर्चुनेट अच्छा बाबू मु आउ टिके पूर्वरु गोटे एरिया वेक्टर रो डायरेक्शन कोन कहिथिली टेल मी व्हाट इज द डायरेक्शन ऑफ द एरिया वेक्टर जेमति लेंथ वेक्टर रो डायरेक्शन होची करंट रो डायरेक्शन सेमति एरिया वेक्टर रो डायरेक्शन ता कोन
perpendicular to
हां
perpendicular to current
yes perpendicular to the area plane eta that is the direction of the area vector that is parallel to the magnetic field सेही पई 0 निया गला रुद्र एमची हतटा को कोन टेकुछ चोरो चाली गले बुद्धि दिसुची एटा को 0 नबार प्राइमरी रीजन हला जे एरिया टा सिना परपेंडिकुलर अछि फ्लक्स मैक्सिमम पास करूची किंतु आर ए वेक्टर रो जो एक्चुअल डायरेक्शन व्हिच इज परपेंडिकुलर टू दिस प्लेन that direction is parallel to the field sethi pai 0 niaga and supposing we rotate in an anti-clockwise manner ei samare mu aguru kahichi current 0 thila not merely due to loss of contact but we will prove it mathematically that although phi is maximum the phi passing through the coils standing vertically is maximum, but the rate of change with respect to time is 0, so the current is 0. And as the angle will increase, more and more, so less and less flux will be passing through that coil, you know, BA cos theta, the angle changes, so BA cos theta changes, and I'll show you that. And finally, it reaches a maximum point when the coil is parallel to the field, but the direction of the area vector is perpendicular to the field, right? At that is why we call 90 degree with respect to the direction of the area vector. At 90 degree, when the area is parallel to the field or the direction of the area vector is perpendicular to the field, then the flux associated or passing through the coil is 0. But the rate of change of flux with respect to time is maximum. We shall prove that, therefore the current is maximum. This is the induced EMF or induced current. V is proportional to R because we are not changing the resistance at all. So V is proportional to I. You can take this as induced EMF axis or current axis. Then again, I may call now A2 चेंज हेची एक्चुअली आगुरु जो आसीची से एठू कोन हेची ना एबीसीडी रु डीसीबी हेची को पर्यंत ना ए पर्यंत एठू ए पर्यंत पूरा थिला एठी चेंज हबो एठू चेंज हला सियाडू जो आसीची से एबीसीडी रु डीसीबी हला एबी एटा हम बुझेइथिले एटा को नेकी हम बुझेइथिले आकु 0 डिग्री नेथिले सेटा भूल एक्चुअली एठी 0 नवा कथा तापर एठी आसी गला d5/dt is maximum so current is maximum तापर पूर्ण जते बळे phi change हला आस्ते 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 more and more flux will be associated but d5/dt will be gradually decreasing well until it becomes 0 when again it comes to another vertical position 80 asi gala eta 180 degree and again when we again continue to rotate it anti-clockwise eta upuru challa 80 change he galani dcb eta abcd 8 he galani hela pore tapore dhire dhire angle change hele less and less flux will be associated but the d5/dt will increase till it becomes maximum when it is the area plane is parallel to the field but the vector is the vector direction is perpendicular so at the angle at that time from the beginning from this position to this position it is 270 degree where we have again getting a maximum point with current is maximum and again jitole pull kari back asiba ei position ku again dhire dhire more and more flux will be associated but rate of change of flux with respect to time will decrease and finally back to pavilion eta hi jaichi ei position ka asila beloku ame pura zero current ku asi gale zero induced emf ku asi gale so this is a full rotation which involves two maxima point and of course 2 0 points but this is a repetition of this so we don't count so this is a dc current but it is a changing current it's not that it is a constant current like a dc battery which gives a constant voltage constant current fixed current but it is a dc generator no doubt but a variable current but current direction never changes because we are using a commutator, split ring commutator, which is responsible to keep the current direction outside circuit same while the current direction is reversing in the coil inside the magnetic field. Now, eta gote, eitu arambha karibo, eiti saribo gote cycle, gote full rotation, gote cycle. Ebong armature coil gote second re kete thora bulluchi that is the frequency of rotation. Usually amar jo town supply asuchi hydroelectric power plant thermal power plant jo asuchi seguda karo frequency hochi 50 Hz gote second re turbine bulluchi full rotation 50 thora nouchi ha eta se katha coil ro samotala coil ro mane area plane ro vector ro direction ro nuhe coil ro samotala jetebale କ୍ଷେତ୍ର ସହିତ ସମାନ୍ତର ଥିବ ଯଦିଓ ତା ବାଟ ଦେଇକି ଫ୍ଲକ୍ସ କିଛି ଯାଉ ନାହିଁ କିନ୍ତୁ d5/dt ର ମାନ ସର୍ବାଧିକ ଓ ଯେତେବେଳେ କଏଲ ସମତଳ କ୍ଷେତ୍ର ସହିତ ଲମ୍ବ ଦିଗରେ ଥିବ ସେତେବେଳେ କିନ୍ତୁ actually 0 degree ଆମେ ନଉଛେ କାହିଁକି ତାର ଭେକ୍ଟର ଡାଇରେକ୍ସନ ଇଜ parallel to the magnetic field କିନ୍ତୁ ମୁଁ କହୁଛି ଏରିଆ ସମତଳ ମାନେ କ୍ଷେତ୍ରର ସମତଳ ଯୋଉ କଏଲ ର ସମତଳ କ୍ଷେତ୍ର ସହିତ ଲମ୍ବ ଥିବ ତା ବାଟ ଦେଇକି ମ୍ୟାକ୍ସିମମ୍ ଫ୍ଲକ୍ସ ଯାଉଛି କିନ୍ତୁ d5/dt is 0 ସର୍ବନିମ୍ନ 0 ଦେଖ ଏଇଠି ମୁଁ ମ୍ୟାଥମେଟିକାଲି ପ୍ରୁଭ କରିଛି ଆଉ ଗୁନ୍ଦରେଇଲେ କିଛି ଲାଭ ନାହିଁ ଯେତେ ଗୁନ୍ଦରେଇଲେ ଗୁନ୍ଦରେଇ ହବ କିନ୍ତୁ ମ୍ୟାଥମେଟିକାଲି ତାକୁ ପ୍ରୁଭ କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ କାହିଁକି since phi is always a dot product of b vector and a vector and it is ba cos theta and cos theta jagare tome likhi paribo omega t that is called angular velocity theta by t ta ko kahanti angular velocity ko rate re angle change hochi theta by t so theta by t re t guni dile theta ase jibo so since it is time dependent because the independent variable is time so seti pai mu wt likhili theta jagare wt w is the angular velocity t is the time and always the area vector is perpendicular to the plane of the area magnitude is same as area but direction is perpendicular so if you derivatize tome derivative padhi na जदि जे पढ़िथिबो इट्स वेल एंड गुड, न पढ़िथिले हम देखिबा जदि करिबा तो आई डाउट d5/dt आकु जदि करिबा आकु मध्ये एपट साइड रे d5/dt करिबा। सो b एटा कांस्टेंट पळे आसिला, एई गोटाक ओमेगा इज ए कांस्टेंट, t इज वेरिएबल। सो ओमेगा टा पुनी भारी आसला, तुमे जानि न cos थीटा, थीटा धीरे धीरे कांस्टेंट थाए, cos टा sin हे जाए, d cos थीटा बाय dt इज इक्वल टू माइनस sin थीटा। बट थीटा टा जेहेतु गोटे कांस्टेंट, थीटा टा एक्चुअली जो इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल टा होचे t एंड ओमेगा इज ए कांस्टेंट, इज एंगुलर वेलोसिटी टा सेटा बाहर को पळे आसला, पुनी रहिला तार नियम सेटा पढ़िले जानिबो। सो तार पर बी ए ओमेगा sin थीटा, पुनी w ओमेगा t जगह हमें थीटा लिखि देले। सो वी फाइंड दैट द d5/dt हमर फैराडेज लॉ अनुसार सब बळे induced EMF is equal to minus number of turns d5/dt. So number of turns तो fixed अछि coil रे, in the d5/dt change होची with angle, when theta is changing the angle is changing. Theta is equal to 0 when the coil is perpendicular to the field. That means the area vector is parallel, सेति पई 0 निया जाई छि, मु बारंबार कहि छि, सेति पई theta is equal to 0 when coil surface of the coil is perpendicular but the vector is parallel, सेति पई 0 निया जाई छि। So sin 0 put कले, sin 0 is 0, so d5/dt टा 0, so current is 0, induced EMF 0, current be 0। आउ जते बेले coil is parallel, that means theta is 90 degree, vector area vector is perpendicular to the field, then sin 90 is 1, that is why d5/dt is equal to ba minus ba, it is omega ta chhadi deythili bili upe likhi chi omega, and sin 90 is 1, so this is maximum। That is why if it starts from 0 when the angle is 0 and it reaches maximum as the d5/dt continuously changes, as the flux associated with it changes, d5/dt continuously increases and finally it becomes maximum with theta body challe amaro positive angle re 30 degree 45 degree 30 degree ta hochi half, 45 degree √3 45 degree kete 1/√2 बड़ी चलला, then finally sin 90 is equal to 1, sin 30 टा केते half, sin 45 is 1/√2 which is greater, because 1/1.414 which is greater than 1/2, and finally sin 90 is the highest in the positive direction। 180 पर्यंत मध्य पॉजिटिव अछि, sin 180 केते
0
0, अच्छा sin 270
-1,
yes 180 पर्यंत पॉजिटिव अछि। सो बॉडी करी जाउची पुनी कमुची, कमी करी पुनी sin 80 रे 0 हो जाउची। सो मैक्सिमम होची ba as 90 डिग्री, सेति पई रीजन टा जिनसटा मैथमेटिकली हमें बुझेबा, you cannot explain in a physical manner। Of course I don't know if someone is capable enough to convince guys like you in a physical interpretation without entering into से माने भाबंती कोन जे पिलांकू स्कूल स्टेज रे हमकू डिफरेंशिएशन से माने बुझी परिबेनी, सो साथ कहि दियो, खाली कहि दियो, 2-3 थर कहि देले that will be a gospel truth। जेतेबेले मैक्सिमम फ्लक्स सेतेबेले d5/dt 0, जेतेबेले minimum 0 flux d5/dt is maximum। Now we shall see what is the difference between AC generator। AC generator रे केवल गोटे स्लीप दीटा स्लीप रिंग रागी आउ स्प्लिट रिंग कम्यूटेटर नाही, अर्थ ए बी पार्ट टा पूरा फिक्स हेची रिंग R1 संगरे, CD पार्ट टा एई तारटा जो आसीची फिक्स हेची R2 संगरे। जिते बेले कॉइल घुरुची सेते बेले एईटा गुरु गुरु होउची, सबु बेले सबु बेले ए बी पार्ट एपटू आसी गली भी सी R1 संगे लगी देखो एपटू आसी गलानी से R1 संगे लगी एटा सेपटू आसी गलानी से R2 संगे लगी CD पार्ट सब बेले R2 संगे लगी से सब बेले कांटेक्टर अछि CD संगे R2 टा आ सब बेले कांटेक्ट अछि R1 टा AB संगे तो एज ए रिजल्ट करंट रो डायरेक्शन टा ऑपोजिट हे जाउची आ भीतर भी ऑपोजिट होउची आ बाहर भी ऑपोजिट होउची देखो जते बेले एई पोजीशन रे थिला हमें पुनी बुझिबा पई पैरेलल कर देले सरफेस टा को although it is 90 degree theta टा 90 degree but still हमें पैरेलल करी बुझिबा को FRR यूज करी को सुविधा होबे बेली हम पैरेलल करिछि बट एक्चुअली हम पढिबा ग्राफ पढिबा एक्चुअल एंगल थीटा टा परपेंडिकुलर रो स्टार्ट करबा सो एठू मु बुझीछि जे एटा एंटी क्लॉकवाइज बुलिला बुलौचे हमें बुलिला नो बुलौचे हमें so direction of the current is also anti-clockwise. You can apply FRR to this side, FRR to this side, you will find it is DCBA. So that current direction ta P ru Q but ethi dekho CD ta sei सेठी जेमती स्प्लिट रिंग को चेंज कर दउथला एठी ब्रश टा कांस्टेंट थिला एठी ब्रश भी कांस्टेंट एवं चेंज होनी ए बी CD साइड टा R2 संगे लगी BA पार्ट टा R1 संगे लगी एंड किंतु एठी R1 टा B1 संगे लगी R1 टा एठी भी B1 संगे सेठी कोन कम्यूटेटर टा कम्यूटेटर धर ताको हमें कहउथिले कोन ना देइथिले C1 ना C2 ना कोन ना देइथिले C1 C2 कम्यूटेटर 1 कम्यूटेटर 2 C1 टा R1 संगे लगिथिला नेक्स्ट हाफ रे C1 टा R2 संगे लागुछ किंतु एठी देखो रिंग R1 टा B1 संगे लगी एठी रिंग 1 टा B1 संगे ब्रश 1 संगे एठी R2 टा B2 संगे एठी भी R2 टा B2 संगे एज ए रिजल्ट कोन हबो जदियो करंट डायरेक्शन एठी थिला DCBA रु ABCD हे गलानी एंटी क्लॉकवाइज डायरेक्शन अछि तथापि ना अनुसार ABCD हे गलानी किंतु बाहर तो एमिति गिर जीव ना एई पटे Q रु जेगिरी P को टर्मिनल को जीव कारण एई पटे करंट आछि माने सेडा लागि छि रिंग R2 टा लागि छि B2 संगे सब बेले रिंग R1 टा सब बेले B1 संगे लागि सेठी किंतु ब्रश को एक्सचेंज करथला तेणु वर्तमान R2 भीतर करंट पस सेठी R1 भीतर करंट पसिकरी R2 रे बाई बाहरथला एठी R2 भीतर करंट पसिला एवं R1 रे बाहरला सो करंट डायरेक्शन चेंज हला एंड इफ यू शो द ग्राफ इट विल बी लुकिंग लाइक दिस एटा बढ़िला ए जाके हम जानि छे एठू स्टार्ट कल एक्चुअल जीरो होची एटा एठी क्लॉकवाइज बुलेछि मु जोटा पाइली जोठी कॉपी पेस्ट मोड रे जोठी पाइली एठी क्लॉकवाइज बुलेछि डजंट मैटर क्लॉकवाइज पोजीशन एठू 180 पर्यंत गोटे डायरेक्शन रहिला एठी चेंज हेई सारछि एपटू आछि माने धरो एटा ABCD हेई सारछि तो ए चालिछि एटा एठी हला मैक्सिमम पुनी एठी आसला 0 180 रे 0 आसला पुनी एठी गला बेलको करंट चेंज हला एठी चेंज हे जाईछि कोन ना करंट रो डायरेक्शन चेंज हे जाईछि करंट रो डायरेक्शन आउटसाइड साइड रे चेंज हले तेनु ता नेगेटिव साइड को गला एटा जदी पॉजिटिव धरिबा करंट चेंज हे गले ताको नेगेटिव धरिबा करंट रो डायरेक्शन चेंज हले ताको नेगेटिव धरिबा बट सेटा बॉडी करी एठी मैक्सिमम आसी एठी ए पोजीशन रे मैक्सिमम एठी नेगेटिव मैक्सिमम एंड फाइनली 360 बेलको पुनी बैक टू पैविलियन so gote full wave रे a full rotation रे you are getting one maximum one minimum and there are two zeros but gote maximum gote minimum रहिबो gote full rotation रे and two zeros it is the back to pavilion so बंधु गण हम एठी टिके ब्रेक नउचे सॉरी आसिलानी ऑलमोस्ट सॉरी आसिलानी जस्ट केतोडा के जानिबा कथा तुमे ताकू पढी दबो एंड केमिति एसी को डीसी करा जाए जदि तळ गुडा को नेगेटिव करंट को विलुप्त कर दबो ताहले एटा कहंती हाफ वेव रेक्टिफायर हमें ताकू डायोड यूज करी विभिन्न प्रकार डायोड ट्रायोड यूज करी हमें करि परिबा एटा कले एटा जो डेकोरेशन मान करे झक 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 बंद होता है पुणी खुलता है सेटा होची एटा हाफ वेव रेक्टिफायर गोटे टेम्पोरारीली आउ कनेक्शन हबनी जीरो करंट एंड पुणी आसला सही पॉजिटिव करंट आउ जदी फुल वेव रेक्टिफायर करिवो तळ गुडा को सब ऊपर को पळे आसीबो then you have to also use rectifiers of different types so that it becomes full wave rectifier आमे जो यूज करूछु एक्चुअली आमे एससी यूज करूचे आमे डीसी ताकू करूने आकू एमती हे गला ताकू स्मूथिंग करबा पई हमरो एटा केते फ्लक्चुएशन वोल्टेज र फ्लक्चुएशन सब बेले होची ताकू आमे यूज करि परिबनी ताकू वोल्टेज को स्मूथिंग करबा पई आमे कैपेसिटर यूज करूचे सो दैट वोल्टेज जत्ते मात्रा रे वेरी करूची से स्मूथिंग हे जिवो सो स्मूथिंग करबा पई आमे कैपेसिटर र सहायता नउचे स्टेडी करंट केवल डीसी बैटरी रु आसुची बैटरी रु किंतु एमानक पाखरु डीसी करि परिबो सत पूरा स्टेडी आसीबोनी फ्लक्चुएटिंग हबो तेणु आमे एसी यूज करूछु आउ हमर गोटे एवरेज वोल्टेज अछि ना मैक्सिमम आमे पाउछु ना मिनिमम पाउछु सो एवरेज वोल्टेज कोंती आरएमएस वोल्टेज रूट मीन स्क्वायर वोल्टेज which is root 2 times the peak voltage जोटा maximum हो कि minimum हो that peak voltage is root 2 times the RMS voltage or in other words RMS voltage is 70% of the peak voltage सेटा हमें पहुंचे so with this we conclude next time हमें आरंभ करिबा तमे बाकी तक पढि दबो ट्रांसफार्मर ए सब जिंस आराम रे बुझी जीवो आउ समय नष्ट करबानी एसी मोटर ट्रांसफार्मर डोमेस्टिक सर्किट से गुडा सब तुम आराम रे पढि दबो ट्रांसफार्मर इज नथिंग हां एसी मोटर कथा मु देइची आई थिंक आई वुड टेक अनदर 10 minutes टू कंप्लीट बाय 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 से अलाउ करबनी जूम अलाउ करबनी मु 7टा जाके नेची बाय डीसी मोटर कथा मु निश्चय कहबी ए सॉरी एसी मोटर जोटा हम यूज करू एसी लाइन रे हम पंखा एमिति एमिति एमिति